Tonight, Fox Sports presents live from the Safeco Field roof. No, it's not really from the roof. It's from what's within the roof. The second game of the three-game series between the Seattle Mariners and the New York Yankees. And no, they haven't called in the voodoo doctors yet, but maybe with the roof closed, it will get things turned around. A very pleasant good evening, everybody. Dave Niehaus along with Ron Fairley. The Mariners have struggled, as everybody knows, lately. But tonight, it doesn't get any easier. Jamie Moyer gets the call for the Mariners, and it's time for him to get it turned around. It's been a while.
It has been a long while since Jamie has won. He has lost his last 5 decisions, and he has not won a game until, well, since last July 24th. So he's due to get back into that win column.
Yeah, when we mentioned it doesn't get any easier, it doesn't, because the opponent for Jamie Moyer and the Seattle Mariners this evening is a man who has won 7 straight. For more on Mr. Andy Pettitte, here's Rich Wallace.
All right, thanks, David. When you think about some of the great Yankee pitchers over the last 4 years and what a great run it's been for the Yankees, you don't think about Andy Pettitte. You think Cone, you think Wells, even El Duque or Roger Clemens. But where would the Yankees be without Andy Pettitte? Not only is he overlooked on his ball club, he's overlooked in all of baseball. Only one pitcher in the last 4 years has won more games than Andy Pettitte has, and that's Pedro Martinez. Andy Pettitte goes tonight as the Yankees get set to take on the Seattle Mariners. It's left-handers night at the ballpark. Jamie Moyer, Andy Pettitte. The Mariners trying to get back on track against the Bronx Bombers. Coming up on Fox Sports Net.
Back here at Safeco Field with the roof closed. A little of inclement weather has visited us here as we near the end of August. It's foggy, a bit rainy outside. Right now, let's check this evening's lineups.
All right, let's take a look at the starting lineup brought to you by Southwest Airlines. Here's the way the Yankees will be going here in Game 2 of this series. The way Joe Torre has it mapped out, it'll be Jeter, Soho, Williams, Canseco, Justice Hill, Posada, Turner, and Brocious. On the mound, Jamie Moyer. Scouting report for Jamie. You see 43% fastballs. Changeup is his out pitch. He needs to be able to get that over the plate and get it down. He has been up with his off-speed pitches, and he's been pitching behind in the count. Around the horn defensively behind Moyer tonight. At first base this evening, a little bit different look. Chris Widger will be at first base. David Bell will be at second. Carlos Guillen at third base. A-Rod, Alex Rodriguez at shortstop. Out in left field, Ricky Henderson. In center field, Mike Cameron. In right field tonight, Stan Javier. And behind the plate doing the catching will be Joe Oliver. On the mound, Jamie Moyer making his 21st start of the year. He has dropped his last 5 decisions. His last win was back on July 24th against the Oakland A's. In his last outing, Jamie struggled. He lost 10-3 at Detroit. He went just 6 innings. He allowed 4 runs on 8 hits. He walked 4, and he struck out 3. Against the Yankees this year, he is 2-0. This will be his 3rd start. He won 9-3 here at Safeco Field back on April the 9th, and then won 13-6 at Yankee Stadium August the 4th. Lifetime mark, Moyer against the Yankees. He is 8-7.
So we're set to play baseball. That man right there making sure the mask is nice and tight on his face is Jerry Davis, the 47-year-old veteran umpire out of Appleton, Wisconsin. He is the man calling balls and strikes. He says, let's go, let's play ball. As Jamie Moyer's first pitch to Derek Jeter is popped up into deep right field, and going back is into right center is Cameron, and Jeter is taken care of, but boy, pretty good wood on it. So 1 pitch and 1 down. The Mariners honoring Hazel Dell down in Vancouver, Washington. The kids had got to the semifinals at the Williamsport this year, and that young man, Tyler Jacobs, a 6-year-old to whom the club down there in Vancouver dedicated their season. The young man is that you probably read about that was fighting a brain tumor, and boy, what a cutie he is. And Dan Wilson going out and greeting all the kids, and thanks to Dave Valley for setting all that up for the kids to come up they had never seen, and this is the first major league game they've ever seen.
How about that? And the Yankees are in town on top of that.
Luis Sojo, a ground ball right back to the mound, and just like that, 2 away. So with 2 down, Bernie Williams, the center fielder, will be the hitter. It's the first time we've had the roof closed in a long time. Right?
Yes, it certainly has been. The weather here in the Northwest has been absolutely fantastic for the games that have been played. When you talk with Jamie Moyer, Dave, he's got a little bit more of a serious look on his face in tonight's ball game. Jamie does not like to lose games. Well, I don't know of anybody that really enjoys it, but I mean, he's got a little extra determination going here in tonight's ball game. He knows that in recent games he has not been real sharp with his control, and he's been up with a lot of pitches. I look for Jamie to have a good night.
1-0 the count on Bernie Williams. 67 degrees as we begin play this evening. The wind out of the south at 9 miles an hour. With the roof on, it's not going to be any factor at all. Off the front of the mound into center field.
Dave, if there's one guy in the lineup for the Yankees tonight that gives Moyer more trouble than anybody else, it's that guy right there. Bernie Williams has a lifetime .473 average against Jamie Moyer, and that includes 6 home runs. So the fact is that Bernie Williams had a single. That's good news, because he just completely wears Moyer out.
Well, here's a man who hit his 444th home run of his career last night in the first inning. Jose Canseco. Big rainbow curve, high, ball 1. 1 ball and no strikes. This was in the first inning. A high fastball, and he hit it way back into the Seattle Mariners bullpen. Way back out there. And that drove in a couple. The Yankees took a 3-0 lead, and they never looked back. Two balls and no strikes to count on Jose Canseco.
Well, that pitch that Abbott threw Canseco last night, Dan Wilson wanted that pitch low and outside, and it ended up being a fastball that was up, and Abbott just missed his target. That's all.
Yeah, the previous pitch, it looked like he had him struck out.
I thought he had him struck out too.
Canseco takes low. Ball 3. 3 balls and no strikes. And Canseco is swinging from here to New York.
He does not take an easy cut. David Justice is on deck. Justice also hits Moyer well.
3-1.
We said that Canseco does not swing easy. No, he swings hard every time up there. Tried to air that ball out.
And he missed outside. So Moyer an easy first 2 outs, but that 3rd out is a little trying as David Justice steps up to the plate. Pedro Martinez had a no-hitter through 8 innings, but he has given up a hit in the 9th, and he has struck out 13. Chan-Ho Park into the 6th inning had a perfect game for 5 2/3 inning. Then he allowed a walk, and now he has given up a 2-run home run. So both pitchers that were flirting with history and no hitters down the drain. And Pedro Martinez we'll see next Monday against Jamie Moyer at Fenway. Justice takes a strike. David Justice, a .375 hitter.
You can see a .375 hitter off of Moyer, and one of the 6 hits a home run. What a job that Justice has done. He's hit 13 home runs since the trade from Cleveland brought him over to the Yankees.
1-1. And that's lined into right field for a base hit. So here comes Bernie around third. He's going to score, and the Yankees strike with 3 straight men getting on with 2 outs and nobody on, and it's 1-0 New York.
Once again, it looked like that last pitch was up to Justice. Look at the location of this pitch. Look at that. That ball is up around the belt or a little bit higher. And Jamie cannot pitch up there. He has to keep the ball down near the knees for him to be successful.
So here is Glenn Allen Hill, who has been an amazing story for the New York Yankees. Swinging and way out in front of that change. 0-1 the count. Glenn Allen Hill, only the 4th player in Major League history to hit 10 or more home runs in his first full month with the team after being acquired from another Major League team at midseason. Picked up from the Chicago Cubs. And Glenn Allen takes down low. And the count 1 ball and 1 strike. Glenn Allen, a couple years ago with the Mariners, 1998. Mariners put him on waivers. He was claimed by the Cubs. He, in 74 games with the Mariners, hit 12 home runs and drove in 33. That he has, with New York, in only 81 at bats, 12 home runs and 23 RBIs. Way outside, 3-1, and Moyer is really working himself into a lot of trouble in the first. But he is an out away from getting out of it with only a run scoring. There's Jorge Posada on deck. Three and 2.
Glenn Allen Hill goes up to the plate looking for fastballs to hit. The changeup gives him a lot of trouble. That is, unless you keep throwing him too many of them.
And a changeup lined into left field for a base hit. So here's Canseco around third, and he will score. And Moyer is giving up some damage here with 2 outs and nobody on.
It has been absolutely amazing that when the opposing team start to get hits, they come one right after another. I mean, there's no in between. Look at it one more time. See the top hand thrown that head at the bat at the ball, that time by Glenn Allen Hill, and picks up the RBI. It's almost like you can't stop it. I mean, they'll put together 5 or 6 hits in a row.
So here is Jorge Posada. Right-handed, hitting .323. Pops it up, coming back and out of play.
Here's another guy that has had a lot of success against Moyer. Batting .389. He is 7 for 18 against Moyer.
It's a bad ball that time, but Moyer's happy to have him down 2 strikes.
Take a look at the location of this last pitch. Look where that one is. That is down low. And in fact, it was in the dirt. But Jamie has to keep the ball down that area. He cannot pitch up around the belt. Very few pitchers can.
Struck him out on a fastball. So that will be that. But the Yankees scored 2 on 3 hits and lead 2 here in the first. We'll head to the bottom of the first after this from Southwest Airlines.
A great crowd here for game 2 of this series with the Yankees in town, and it's going to be an uphill battle for the Mariners. The Yankees lead it 2-0. Let's take a look at the Mariners starting lineup brought to you by Southwest Airlines. It'll be Henderson, Javier Rodriguez, Martinez, Cameron Widger, Oliver, Bell, and then Guillen. Scouting report on Andy Pettitte, 69% fastballs. He's also throwing a cutter. Curveball, slider, and a changeup. When he's behind the count, you've got about an 80% chance of getting a fastball. And keep in mind, he has an excellent move to first base. Let's check around the horn defensively. Posada will be at first base tonight. Luis Sojo at second base. Third base is Scott Brosius. At shortstop, Derek Jeter. Out in left field, Glenn Hill. The center fielder, Bernie Williams. Right field, David Justice. And behind the plate doing the catching tonight will be Chris Turner. And on the mound, Andy Pettitte making his 26th start of the year, a 16-game winner.
Pettitte, a man with almost a Svengali look to him when he looks in at the batter and gets his sign. Kind of a mesmerizing look. And boy, I don't know if it's a look or his stuff, and I'm sure it's his stuff, quite frankly, but he has been some kind of a pitcher. As Rich Walsh pointed out, only one man has won more games since '96. Pedro Martinez of the Boston Red Sox in the American League, and he has been something, Mr. Pettitte. 16-6 with a 4.14 ERA. Off the hands, and Sojo throws him out.
Dave, one of the things that Pettitte has had the benefit of, and that is a lot of runs. They've already scored 2 runs for him, but in his last 7 starts, keep in mind he's won all of them. The Yankees have scored 65 runs for him in those 7 starts. They're averaging 9 runs every time he goes out there in the mound lately.
And he has 2 in the bank here in the first inning. Stan Javier, the right fielder tonight for the Mariners. Two 2-0 final of Red Sox and Pedro Martinez shut out the Devil Rays on one hit only. The John Flaherty base hit in the 9th inning. Reno. A-Rod next. Another great crowd tonight. I don't think it's quite as big as last night. Probably 44, 43, 44,000. Over the mound, charged by Sojo, and Luis will throw him out.
Well, Alex Rodriguez this year against Andy Pettitte right here at Safeco Field back in April when it took him deep to right field. And then when they met at Yankee Stadium on a curveball, again to right center field, hit this well, back into the seats. Alex in his career has 5 home runs against Andy Pettitte.
And 17 career home runs against New York, which is the most in his career against any one team. They and Kansas City. He's hit 17 home runs against Kansas City also. 0-1, the count on A-Rod. One and one. Two and one on Alex. He always seems to perform well against New York. Overall, as you see, 343 batting average. 2-2.
Nice little cutter on the hands of Alex that time. That's the one pitch that Pettit has been using a little bit more. And he's also using both sides of the plate. Also, notice that Pettit working a little faster, taking less time between pitches.
Still 2 balls, 2 strikes. The count on A-Rod. Count is full, 3-2. Ground ball, 1 hopper hit to third, and Brosius will throw him out. So 3 ground ball outs. The Mariners are going in order against Andy Pettit here in the bottom of the first. And as we go to the second, the Yankees lead it 2-0. Yankees leading it 2-0. Tickets still available now for one of the biggest promotional nights of the year. That would be Bat Night on Tuesday, September the 12th. The Mariners are taking on Kansas City that night. The first 15,000 kids getting an Edgar Martinez bat courtesy of Zenetics. For tickets, you can call 206-622-HITS or pick up your seats at any Mariners team store, including the all-new Mariners team store opening on Friday at the South Center Mall. Chris Turner, the catcher, takes the first pitch down low from Moyer. Ball 1. 1 ball and no strikes the count.
Turner's been around for a while. 31 years old. Been with the Angels, Kansas City, Cleveland, now with the Yankees.
Doing 1. And that pitch right on the outside corner. A little about kneecaps. High. Of course, the White Sox are in Oakland tonight. The Mariners with still a 1.5 lead over the Athletics, and we'll keep our eye peeled on that game for you. That is almost exactly the same spot. Maybe a little bit more outside, according to Jerry Davis. 3-2. One hopper, great stop at second base by Bell, who throws him out. David Bell, an outstanding defensive gem.
Well, I thought that was a base hit. That was a tremendous play that time by David Bell. Struck hard that time by Turner. And look at David Bell. Stretched out. Reached about as far as he's going to be able to reach to be able to get that ball. Great play by David Bell.
So 1 down, and Scott Brosius, the third baseman, the hitter. Starts him off with a change.
That defense, Dave, can really help the pitching out. We have said to make great defensive plays behind a pitcher, it kind of gives him that little extra. Jamie coming right back. Strike 1, strike 2.
A little high.
Talked about Andy Pettit having a little bit better tempo, taking less time between pitches. Jamie doing basically the same thing. Jamie always works relatively fast anyway, but that last inning, I think it took a little bit more time, especially after all those hits he was giving up.
Change up call for.
Just outside.
Second consecutive 3-2 count. And he walked it. Second walk given up by Moyer. Now he gets to the top of the order where there's a lot of trouble. Paul Konerko, a 3-run home run in the top of the second inning, giving the White Sox an early 3-0 lead down in Anaheim in the bottom of the first. Toronto scored 1 in the top of the first. Our update brought to you by Quest. That breaking ball high and outside. One.
Excellent changeup that time by Moyer. That's without a doubt. That is Jamie's out pitch. The out pitch is the changeup. The target by Oliver. And you can see that might have been a little bit outside. Nevertheless, the umpire giving that to Jamie.
Yankees. 2-1 to count.
Yep, Yankees have been tough since the All-Star break. But if you go back to July the 1st, they've won 35 games. That's the best record in the American League.
Yeah, only the Giants have played better baseball since that time.
Well, you came up with a very interesting figure on the Yankees. If they have a, what is it, a 5 or a 6 game lead?
Yeah, at any point in the season, a 6 game lead, if they've ever had a 6 game lead in the season, more than a 6 game lead in the season, they've never lost a division or an American League championship.
There's Popeye on the right, Don Zimmer, skipper Joe Torre on the left. That's a pretty good pair right there.
And Jeter walks. So Moyer beginning to have his control problems here. He went 3-2 on Turner, and it took a great play by Bell to deny him a base hit. Then he walked Brosius on a 3-2 pitch, and now he's walked Jeter. So he's walked 3 men in an inning and a third.
You know, I would say that the years that Jamie has been with the Mariners, he averages between 2 and 3 base on balls per 9 innings. That is what he has averaged. But obviously here tonight, he's already walked 3 batters, and it's just the second inning, and he has only 1 out. So that gets to be a little bit frustrating after a while for Moyer, as it does for everyone watching right now. So Moyer getting a little bit of a pep talk from Brian Price.
Split his pitches down the middle, 40 of them already, 20 strikes, 20 balls.
Yeah, but a double play ball, you've got a guy up here that you can induce to hit one on the ground, and you can double play with Soho.
Yeah, this guy swings at anything.
But he also can get some hits too. He's been swinging the bat well for the Yankees.
Not close. High, ball 1. 1 ball and no strikes. Luis Soho is hitting .338 as a Yankee.
He's a high ball hitter.
Runner's going, and on a hit and run, he fouls it straight back.
But did you see where that pitch was? That was a pitch that was up above the belt. That is the strength of Luis Soho. He is a high ball hitter. Look at where this pitch is. The runners are going to go. But look at this. Boy, I mean, look at the cut that Soho took. Look at it from the side. He was right on that pitch. So Moyer got away with one there.
And the curveball off Moyer, and it'll bounce right to third base, and Guillen will throw him out. 1-5-3 to put out. Moyer says he's okay.
See, where does this get him? Great big curveball, and it goes right off. It looked like right off the instep, the ankle. Look at it again. As that hit Jamie, yep, right on the ankle. And fortunately, it goes right to Guillen, and they're going to check to see how Jamie is. That is the ankle that he lands on, right there. And we'll have to wait and see how he is. So Jamie says he'll be all right. That may swell up as this game goes along.
And he's got one of the toughest men in the lineup for him, with two in scoring position right now, Bernie Williams. Bernie hit one off the front of the mound, a rocket on into center field. Last inning.
Well, Bernie Williams is now 27 for 56.
Brett Tomko gets up. Tomko complaining last week of a dead arm. Speaking of dead arms, Gil Mesh will be examined tomorrow by Dr. James Andrews, the orthopedic specialist down in Birmingham, Alabama, trying to find out what's wrong with the young man from Louisiana, suffering from a tired arm also. It's probably done for the rest of the year. There's one in the dirt, and a run is going to score. So a wild pitch. 3-0 New York. The first base on balls in the inning has come in to score, and the second one is down at third base.
Well, if you look back in the last 2 weeks for the Mariners, the base on balls have killed the Mariners. Look at this. All up the ball getting away from Oliver. I would venture to say in the last couple of weeks, of all the base on balls, I'm going to say 60 to 70% of them have scored. You have 3 walks tonight. 2 of them have scored. There's no defense for a base on ball.
And there's ball 3 to Bernie Williams. Green lighted 3-0, which surprises no one. On the changeup, he misses. 3-1.
Take a look at the last delivery by Moyer, and you just kind of wonder how that ankle is holding up. Didn't show a great deal there, but just you have to wonder.
And he walked it. So that's 3 walks in the inning.
And that is totally unlike Jamie Moyer.
Jose Canseco licking his chops as he comes up to the plate, and trying Price on the horn to find out if Tomko is about ready.
Talked to Lou Piniella after the game last night, and he says, you know, you kind of feel like you're handcuffed. You know, as a player, you can go out and do something about the losing streak that the team is on. But as a manager, all you can do is make out the lineup. I mean, you have no other control over the game other than that. You don't have any control over how accurate your pitcher is throwing on a particular night. You have no control over the defense. You have no control over whether guys get hits. That's what makes it so very frustrating. And I have to wonder right now, Dave, if that ankle isn't bothering Jamie. "50 pitches already."
Canseco nodding his head back and forth. He can't believe that changeup was that good. You can see that Moyer's really struggling with 15 of the last 20 pitches being balls. Canseco pop up outside of first and in the stands. 2-2. You can see that it looks a bit like London rather than Seattle tonight. Somewhere out there, Sherlock Holmes is lurking. Down low and outside, another 3-2 count. And there's trouble. David Justice, who had the RBI single in the first inning. Bernie Williams takes off. And down on strikes is Jose Canseco. So the wild pitch produces a run after a walk. And the New York Yankees score a run without the benefit of a hit here in the second. And they lead 2. And as we go to the bottom of the second, it's 3-0 New York. With the Yankees leading by a score of 3-0 moving into the bottom of the second, we invite you to join us after the ball game tonight. Your 11 p.m. regional sports report. There will be a report about the Mariners post-game action. We'll have analysis from Bill Kruger. They'll also talk Husky football as the Huskies prepare for the battle against the Idaho Vandals. We invite you to join Rod Simons and Tom Glasgow for 30 minutes of nightly sports news, completely dedicated to your home teams. As Edgar Martinez has a count 1-0, and he takes a strike, 1 ball and 1 strike, and Edgar has struggled a little bit lately, only 1 hit in his last 15 at bats. But against Andy Pettit, he has had fabulous success. Jumping out of his shoes at that breaking ball.
Look at that last pitch as Edgar went after that high off-speed pitch and a bit out in front. Concentration on Pettit's face. There was a great deal of talk in New York earlier in the year that the Yankees were going to trade Pettit. And the Yankees are very happy that that did not happen.
One and 2 on Edgar Martinez. Barely outside. Foul ball. The Yankees here one more time tomorrow night before the Mariners take off to Boston and Toronto. Tomorrow night, Aaron Seeley and David Cone. Right here on Fox Sports Net. The game show at 6:30. Edgar battling, staying alive. 3-2.
Pettit has a fastball at anywhere between 88 and 90 miles an hour. We said he also throws a cutter and using both sides of the plate more. And with that cutter, that allows him to get in on the hands of right-handed batters.
Got him.
And that might have been a cutter.
So 1 away in the second, and Mike Cameron will be the hitter. Only 30 games left after tonight in the regular season. Cameron hits the ball deep to left field, and Hill goes back to the track and makes the catch. Glenn Allen Hill is not going to win any Gold Gloves out there, but he made the catch on that one.
Just didn't quite have that click to it to get that ball carried to far enough. But you can see that Glenn Allen Hill out there making the one-handed grab. Happiest guy in the world right now is that guy right there making that catch.
Chris Widger, the first baseman, taking a strike, 0-1. Getting the start at first for John Olerud. The second game that Olerud did not start at first base tonight. The other time didn't last long. He was in there quickly. Olerud has played in every game up until tonight. It's not to say he will not appear in the game later on. There's John. That cutter to which Red referred. Got a pretty sharp late break to it.
Likes to run it in on the hands of right-handed batters and maybe cut the ball away from left-handed batters, but a very effective pitch that he uses to right-handed.
Two outs, 2 strikes, and the Yankees up 3-0 here in the second inning. Off the end of the bat, but right to Bernie Williams as he reached out and poked at it. Hit it, but right to the center fielder. So here in the 8th, 3 up, and in the second, 3 up and 3 down, and after 2, 3-0 New York. Yankees with that 3-0 lead moving into the third coming up in September, which is just right around the corner. A double shot of great giveaways. The Mariners hosting the Minnesota Twins on Friday the 8th. The first 20,000 fans getting a John Olerud poster, courtesy of Eagle Hardware and Garden. And then on Saturday, September the 9th, the first 15,000 kids through the gate get a Mariners back to school binder thanks to Pepsi and Albertsons. Good seats are still available. You can call 206-622-HITS or get your tickets at any Mariners team store, including the all-new Mariners team store at the South Center Mall, opening on September the 1st. John Olerud, a smile on his face, even when he's sitting over there in the dugout. Wears that batting helmet. He's playing defense. He wears the batting helmet. And Tom Lampkin, a man that the Mariners have missed dearly since he underwent that Tommy John surgery. Down there, the two Seattle natives talking to each other. David Justice on the first pitch hits a routine ground ball to David Bell. Moyer in the first inning had no problem getting the first 2 outs. Matter of fact, he got the first 2 outs on 3 pitches. And then it took him 20 more to get the final out. And here he gets the first out in the third on a pitch. Let's see what he does with Glenn Allen Hill.
Jamie's approach right now is that, okay, I've given up 3 runs, but that's all I'm going to give up. I'm not going to give up any more runs. I'm going to shut them out the rest of the way. The attitude that you have to take out there. Ugly numbers.
Two and one on Hill. Glenn Allen is 35 years old. He's from Santa Cruz. He's strong as an ox. Glenn Allen Hill, while with the Cubs this year, hit one on the house over the left field wall at Wrigley Field. Very few people have been up on top of that house.
They may have gone up there to watch a game, but
not to catch fly balls.
Not to catch fly balls. You're absolutely right about that. So that was one of the longer home runs ever hit at Wrigley Field.
I want the people who own that house charge admission to go up there and sit on.
Yeah, they do.
Do they?
Yeah. In fact, I'd have to get my numbers correct, but I mean, they serve food, and they've got TV sets up there. They've got radios.
He walked him, and again, that's walk number 5 already for Moyer.
But they serve quite a buffet for the people that go up there, and you'd be surprised how much that costs to go up there and watch a game from that vantage point. In fact, I think it's a closed club. It costs you like $300 a year to join, plus the tickets.
Boy, Moyer's all over the place with that curveball. He can't bring it down.
You got to keep battling. You got to stay with it. Brian Price has been working a lot with Jamie, and in his throw days, he's been good. But for some reason, he gets out to the.
Cameron going back. He's going to have room to catch the ball. Posada is out. Pretty good poke that time by George Posada. We're calling all sports fans in Seattle. You want the chance to meet John Madden? One lucky Fox Sportsnet viewer gets his chance to ride with John Madden, his bus, on September the 10th, courtesy of Outback Steakhouse. For the official rules or to enter, you can go to our website at www.ridethemaddenbus.com to enter. And the winner will go to the Seahawks home game against the defending Super Bowl champion Rams on September the 10th. And the winner gets dinner at Outback Steakhouse and tour of the Fox football broadcast facility. Out of play. Chris Turner with the count at a ball and a strike. Fastball line down the right field line, but that's foul. An update in Anaheim. Blue Jays, the 3-0 lead. Carlos Delgado, who's making a bid for the Triple Crown in the league. See, he's having a big night. And Cleveland hammering Texas 11-1. The bottom of the 7th. Update brought to you by Quest. 3-2. So it's been a struggle for Moyer every inning. Make no mistake about it.
6th 3-2 count so far in the game.
Goes a runner, and strike 3 called on Chris Turner on the outside corner. So he strikes out Turner. And 1 man left here in the 3rd inning. Coming back, Oliver, Bell, and Guillen, 7, 8, 9 coming up for Seattle. Yankees still 3. The Mariners nothing. With Ron Fairley, this is Dave Niehaus at Safeco Field. We've had the roof extended since the first pitch with the foggy, rainy conditions overhead this evening. This is only the 9th time this year that the roof has been on. Bob Oliver, the catcher, leads it off. Joe Oliver, I beg your pardon.
Yeah.
One hopper. Nice job of snaring it by Posada. Over there at first base, the old catcher made a great play. So Joe Oliver's gone.
An outstanding play by the catcher. You can see how far off the line that Posada is playing. There's the ball right down the line, and yet he's able to go over, make the one-handed grab, and the perfect toss to the pitcher covering. Textbook play.
David Bell, the hitter. And Pettit with that pinpoint accuracy. Two pitches there. They're just incredible pitches. Low. Maybe a little bit below the knees, but inside part of the corner of the plate. 0-2 the count. And the hard slider that time. Low and inside. Pettit was a 22nd round draft choice of the Yankees back in 1990. In June, decided to go to junior college, community college, San Jacinto Community College, and then signed in May of '91 while the Yankees still had the rights to him. He didn't sign immediately when he was drafted in June of '90. You can do that if you go to a community college. You can't do that if you go to a four-year college. You have to wait until your junior year to sign a professional contract. If you enroll, there's a fly ball into left center field, and Bernie calls and makes the catch. So 2 down. On Monday, September the 11th, you can enjoy all the fun of the pennant chase at half the price. Boeing Employees Credit Union Half Price Family Night presented by KBSG Oldies 97.3. Kansas City's here, and all the View Reserve seats are just $7. And don't forget, plenty of good seats remaining for the entire 3-game series with the Royals, including Bat Night on Tuesday, September the 12th. You can call 206-622-HITS or order online at mariners.org. Guillen takes one right at the knees. Again, he's very rarely up with his pitches tonight.
Even the curveballs he keeps down right around the knees. Matchup of opposites tonight. Pettit has not lost in over a month, and Moyer has not won in over a month.
One and two. Yankees with that 5-game lead over Boston. Boston wins tonight. The one-hitter by Pedro Martinez. Pedro now 15-4 on the year. Boy, that curveball is a dandy tonight. That's his second strikeout and first time through the lineup for Andy Pettitte. He is perfect. All 9 in a row mowed down. And after 3-0 New York.
Lead. The Yankees 3-0 in the fourth. That means Affleck trivia time. Gentlemen, who are the only 2 players to have played for the Yankees? The the Mets, the Giants, and the Doyers. And the hint here is that the Giants and Doyers were not in New York when they played for these guys, but they played for the Dodgers, the Giants, the Mets, and the Yankees.
Oh, we had a June bug here last night, right?
Yeah, we had a June bug here last night. I'm good, and they're going to have a Popeye here tonight. I think is one of them. I think Don Zimmer is one of the answers.
Line drive, and it's a fair ball down the right field line, and around first on his way for 2. The throw to second base is Brosius, and he'll be in there. So Scott Brosius starts it off with a double.
Well, Joe Oliver hits one down the line. Posada makes a great play. This one, just look at that. Oh, that might have been foul. That might have been foul.
That ball is foul. Well, remember this. All it has to do is go over the bag fair.
Oh, no. Not on a line. Not a line drive.
Not a line drive. No, if it bounces, it goes over the ball.
That's right.
Bag. No, this was a line drive. You're right, Red. And that was a foul ball. Well, I'll tell you. You're getting some bad breaks.
Boy, the umpiring has been a little bit suspect lately. Is this a fair or foul ball?
Well,
does that get? Did that get the chalk? If it gets the chalk line, then it's a fair ball.
Well, we got to
give him the benefit of the doubt.
Absolutely, he's right on top of it. I mean, if it got any chalk at all, it's a fair ball. So he says it did. First time I saw it, I thought it was clearly foul. Now I'm not sure.
Boy, the Mariners have had their run of bad luck. It has to change. It eventually has to change. The question is when.
One and 2 on Derek Jeter. Two and 2. Curveball that time, and Jeter jumping out of his shoes to try and make perfect contact with that. Meanwhile, the White Sox continue to lead Oakland 3-0 in the 5th. And Toronto 4-0 over Anaheim in the 3rd. Those scores brought to you by Quest. There was a time not too long ago, Red, that I thought that for the first time in the playoff system we're using now, that maybe the East was not going to produce the wild card team. Now I'm not so sure.
Well, it didn't look like it for a while, but right now, I mean, there's a bundle of teams that are wrapped up in that wild card race.
Another full count.
Looking at the wild card race, there are 7 teams that are fighting to win their divisions, with Atlanta and the Mets being tied. And then there are 10 other teams that are within 5 games in their respect. You have over in the American League, you have 6 teams that are within 5 games, and then you have 4 over in the National League, the Dodgers, Arizona, New York, and Atlanta. that are fighting for a spot. There are 17 teams that are wrapped up right now. Well, actually 16, because the Mets they're in the wild card, but they're also tied for first place. So there's 16 teams that are involved in either the division or the wild card.
With a month to go. Up and in. Jeter backed off the plate. So that is 6 bases on balls given up by Moyer.
Boy, you talk about a game of inches. Look at the way things have been going for the Mariners. Cameron in the opening game tries to go, and against the White Sox is thrown out, might have been safe. Ricky Henderson hits a ball into right center field, and guess what? This ball is trapped by Singleton. They call that out. And then last night, making the tag, and he might have been out. And then the strike to Jose Canseco that was called a ball. The next pitch, he hits a home run. So, boy, you talk about a game of inches.
Soho drops a dandy down the third base line, but it rolls foul. Luis Soho, the likable Venezuelan.
Every time I see Soho, I still remember that ball that he hit at the Kingdome. Everybody scored.
Langston.
Yeah, off of Langston, and that broke that game wide open. 1995.
Luis wearing Lou's old Yankee number, the number Lou still covets. There's another Venezuelan. The Chief, Freddie Garcia, who pitched so well the other day, only to suffer the loss. The delivery is low and inside to him. Ball one ball and 1 strike. Garcia gave up 2 solo home runs, 1 to Konerko and 1 to Durham, and the White Sox beat him 2-1. Nobody out, 2 on. 3-0 New York. The pressure being applied by the Yankees again here in the 4th inning. Pitch out. Tough to call a pitch out when you have a pitcher out there that's having problems throwing strikes.
Want to have a meeting of the minds out there with Moyer. That didn't last very long. And once again, Tomko is up, and he appears to be ready.
And a bunt up the first base line. Moyer's only played at first base where Bell is covering. So the sacrifice 1-4.
And that was an excellent bunt by Soho. I mean, that was butted very softly along the first base line, right near the line. That was a perfect bunt. Look at it again. You can see Soho getting in position, dropping the ball down. Had a very level bat. A perfect bunt. The only play that Moyer had was to first base. And now they're going to intentionally walk Bernie Williams,
which will be the 7th base on balls given up by Moyer in 3 1/3 innings. And now he's going to have to face the power hitting Jose Canseco, and I don't know if he's going to face him or not. With Tomko ready to come in out in the bullpen, Lou might go out and get the hard throwing Brent Tomko.
Well, we said that Bernie Williams hits Jamie so well that you can certainly understand this. And I think, Dave, you're right, because here comes Lou out, and this may be all for Jamie.
So Moyer will only go 3 1/3, and Jamie's woes continue Although Lou has not made the move yet. Tomko continues to throw out in the bullpen. Let's see if he's going to go out and get Tomko. No, he's not. He's going to leave him out there.
Well, Lou does not want to destroy his bullpen by going out there and bringing in and have the bullpen work 5 innings in the game. And plus the fact, Jamie, an 11-game winner for the Mariners. That's a season high 7 walks for Moyer tonight.
So Jose Canseco up there with the bases loaded. Taking high and outside, ball 1. 1 ball and no strikes. For a man with 444 career home runs, you would think he would have more than 6 career grand slams, wouldn't you?
Well, you'd think so. His last one was against Andy Pettitte, his teammate tonight.
2-0. Wow, what a cut.
Doesn't get cheated up there at the plate. Look at the cut by Canseco with that wishbone stance of his. Almost like a bow-legged stance. Trying to hit flat-footed. Terribly strong up there. How big that guy is.
Three and 1 to count on Jose Canseco. And there's Mr. Justice on deck.
Canseco was only hit into about a half a dozen double plays. And the reason being, he doesn't hit the ball on the ground very much. He's a power hitter, hits a lot of balls in the air.
And a strike right on the outside corner. Perfect placement. A fastball.
See the target by Oliver? Perfect. Didn't have to move it. Do it again.
And strike 3 called on the outside corner. So Canseco rung up by Jerry Davis. And a couple of things to say to Davis as he takes the walk. Huge strikeout for Moyer.
Well, you be the judge. On the outside corner, is that a strike? Can't see where the plate is. Canseco thought it was outside.
That's outside, yeah.
Yeah, that's outside.
David Justice, the hitter, he had a base hit in the first, and he walked, rather hit a ground ball to second, and he hits a shot to right, and Javier is there to catch it on the warning track. And amazingly, Moyer dodges a huge Yankee onslaught that wasn't here in the 4th. No runs, 1 hit, 3 left. To the bottom half of the 4th, it's still 3-0 New York.
That man looks like he could still hit today. Reggie Jackson working for the Yankees, of course, in town. All right, answer time. The only 2 players to have played for the Yankees, the Mets, the Giants, and the Dodgers. I thought maybe Dave Kingman, but as it turns out, Kingman never played for the Dodgers. Jose Vizcaíno, Darryl Strawberry, your answer. Gentlemen?
Thank you, Rich. Mr. Reggie Jackson. Nice to have Mr. October here as we get set to head into September. A man who hit 573 home runs in a magnificent career. Also the all-time strikeout leader as far as striking out. The all-time strikeout leader, pitcher, of course, is Nolan Ryan. Breaking ball down low and inside, 1 ball and no strikes. But one of the more colorful characters.
Yeah, Reggie's a good guy. Number 44, Mr. Jackson. Whenever you hit 500 home runs, you got to be called Mr.
Two and 0.
You know, there are big game players, and I certainly think that this guy up here at the plate, Ricky Henderson, has been a big game player throughout his career, and so has Mr. October, Reggie Jackson.
Well, there's the first base runner for the Mariners. After 9 in a row had been retired, Ricky walks. So Ricky tacks on another walk, and now time for Fox Facts, brought to you by Dodge. Brett?
We talked the other night about various model bats that the players use. The C271 was originally a Jose Cardinal bat that Ken Griffey Jr. and Alex Rodriguez uses. Also, Carl Yastrzemski used that bat. The C243 model was a Rod Carew model. The M110 that Mickey Mantle used was originally a Stan Musial model. And here we are. Javier up the plate. What kind of bat does he swing? J116 model. Some of the other guys, well, look at this. That M356, that's Edgar Martinez bat. And what that is a variation of the Rod Carew bat with just a smaller handle. And the reason for the 356, when he led the league in hitting, that's the number that he used when he hit 356.
What I'm trying to figure out is what the 248 is doing opposite Ted Williams' W2.
Well, that was the model bat that Ted swung, was a W248. Babe Ruth had an R43. Jay Buhner swings a JB138. I mean, there are some of the bats that are obvious in how they have their marking.
Double play ball. 1 and 2. So Javier bounces into a 6-4-3 double play. Just like that, 2 away here in the 4th, and Alex Rodriguez the hitter.
And he has that C271 model up there. 34 inches, 31 ounces. If I were to name a couple other model bats, I'll guarantee you're going to get them. How's D5?
DiMaggio.
You got it. MC44.
McCovey.
McCovey. A big bat was swung by a guy that's in the Hall of Fame, an R161.
R161.
Frank Robinson.
Okay.
And by the way, that information that you saw on the screen there was supplied to us by the clubhouse guy for the Mariners, Scott Gilbert. And so we thank Scott for going out.
Yeah, who also told us that the bats now cost what, $33.50.
$33.50. Yeah. So thank you, Scott, for that information. We appreciate it and hope the fans enjoyed it.
Also told us that Mariners spend like $175,000 a year on bats alone. A-Rod taking down low and outside. And certainly one of the biggest adjustments any youngster has to make when signing a professional contract is coming away from the aluminum bat to a wood bat. There's an absolutely huge difference where the ball comes off the bat. Out of play. Mike Cameron. See that pine tar on his bat that goes pretty well up the barrel. Don't pay too much attention to that anymore. like they used to prior to the George Brett incident. Hit hard, but right to Scott Brosius, and Brosius throws him out. So thanks to the double play in 4 innings, Andy Pettitte has faced only 12 men, but not a perfect game. Well, 3-0 New York as we go to the 5th inning of play, coming up immediately after the game on the National Sports Report. The National League East is getting interesting. The AFC East, there will be a preview about that, and the U.S. Open situation at Forest Hills in New York. The National Sports Report featuring news, opinions, and highlights from a fresh perspective tonight after the game on Fox Sports Net. Glenn Allen Hill, a wave and a miss. One. We were talking about Glenn Allen Hill last night having the all-time organized baseball record for most strikeouts in 1 year. He first started his career, a kid out of Santa Cruz back in 1985. Towering high fly ball hit to center field, and Cameron will be there to catch it. He struck out 211 times in 466 at bats. 1 down, and Posada will be the hitter.
Posada putting together his finest major league season of his career. Has established career highs in home runs and RBIs this year.
Update from down at Edison International Field. Troy Gloss, a 3-run home run, has gotten the Angels right back in that ball game. They trailed Toronto 4-3 in the bottom of the 4th. That update brought to you by Quest. And there's a base hit up the middle by Posada. George aboard with 1 down, and Chris Turner will be the hitter. The Yankees have not been retired in order in this ball game. The Mariners have been retired in order every inning. .100. But more balls and strikes. Take 4 of those balls away, though, because an intentional base on balls thrown in there. Ground ball hit to third. A chance for 2. There's 1, and David Bell, he can't get enough on his throw.
Couldn't quite hit hard enough to turn the double play. Plus the fact Guillen had to get near the line and make probably a longest throw to turn that double play as possible right over the bag. There's the throw down to second base, and Guillen transferring that over to Bell, and Bell on to first base, not in time to turn it. Mariners, you know, when you talk to the players and you watch them play, they're trying hard, they're bearing down, but nothing seems to work for them right now. They're having a difficult time just getting anybody on base.
Scott Brosius literally chalked the line last inning, just behind the bag at first for a double. One.
Lou is saying, you know, what do? Do I hold a meeting? Do I jump on him? And he says if they were loafing, they weren't putting out, then I could have that kind of a meeting. He says, but they're bearing down. They're trying as hard as they possibly can, but nothing seems to fit right now.
Coming down, Guillen, and it's going to be Carlos to make the catch to retire the side. So here in the 5th, no runs, a hit, and a man left as we go to the bottom of the 5th. Still 3-0 New York.
And welcome back to Safeco Field as we go to the bottom of the 5th inning. The Yankees lead by a score of 3-0. Hi again, everybody. Rick Riz along with Hendu, David Henderson, and Hendu. What a performance so far halfway through this ball game for left-hander Andy Pettitte.
And he has done the job. He has that patented cut fastball on the inside part of the plate, baffling the Mariners hitters. And of course, you run through the Mariners lineup, and a lot of guys are struggling in that lineup, and facing a tough pitcher like Pettitte, not a good combination.
And talk about struggling. Jamie Moyer really struggling early in this ball game, but he has posted scoreless innings in the 3rd, 4th, and the 5th. Mariners still very much in this ball game, but they're looking to get the Pettitte. Edgar Martinez leads it off, pops one down the right field side on the run. Posada makes the catch by the rolled up tarp. One pitch and one out for the Mariners here in the 5th, and the catcher for the Yankees getting the start at first base tonight for Tino Martinez. Jorge Posada has made 2 fine plays tonight.
And we're seeing him over there at first base showing some fancy footwork. Usually don't see that kind of feet out of catchers, but he's moving around like a dancer out there.
Posada over at first tonight for Tino. Here's center fielder Mike Cameron. Cammy 0 for 1. Flew out to Glenn Allen Hill in left field, and Hendu looked like Glenn Allen Hill, who's not known for his defense, had a rough time trying to get to it, but the bottom line is he made the catch.
Well, he thought that ball was hit a lot harder than what it was, and he put his head down and sprinted for the wall, thinking it was going to get to the wall.
Inside on Cammy. 1-1. Glenn Allen Hill out there in left field tonight. Joe Torre going with some right-handed bats against Jamie Moyer. Fouled away on the right field side, and the count is 1-2 on Cameron. Andy Pettitte, big left-hander, 6'5", 235, out of Deer Park, Texas. He was a 22nd round draft choice by the Yankees in June of 1990. And Henry, just a few years ago, the Yankees were thinking about trading this young man. Misses outside, 2-2 on Mike.
Well, I think he cut all that noise out when he had those performances in the World Series and playoffs. That he was one of their best pitchers, him and El Duque, over the last couple of years in playoff time.
16 wins this year. Fly ball, right field. David Justice is there, and he makes the catch. So 2 outs for the Mariners here in the 5th inning. Hey kids, this reminder, don't miss Bat Night coming up on Tuesday, September the 12th, as the Mariners take on the Royals. If you're one of the first 15,000 youngsters through the gate, you'll get an Edgar Martinez bat, courtesy of Zenetics. There's still good seats available for one of the biggest promotional nights of the year, but they're going fast. Call 206-622-HITS or pick up your tickets at any Mariners team store, including the all-new Mariners team store located in the South Center Mall, opening September the 1st. Here's first baseman Chris Widger. John Olerud getting the night off. Widger lined out to Bernie Williams in the 2nd inning. Oh, and 1. Mariners still looking for their first hit off of Andy Pettitte.
Well, the only thing the Yankees haven't done this year is throw a no-hitter. They've done it the last consecutive years. David Cone and David Wells have thrown the no-hitter. So Pettitte's got one going here tonight.
0-2 the count on Chris Widger, and Doc Gooden threw a no-hitter against the Mariners back in 1996, May the 4th, at Yankee Stadium. Swing and a miss for strike 3, and Andy Pettitte has been mighty tough tonight. After 5 innings of play, the Yankees lead 3-0. We'll head to the 6th after this word from Southwest Airlines. Here we go to the top of inning number 6. The Yankees lead it by a score of 3-0. Mariners have yet to get a base hit off of Andy Pettitte tonight, as Derek Jeter will lead things off. Jeter in the leadoff spot tonight. Polonia was in that leadoff spot last night. Chuck Knobloch, their leadoff hitter, is on the DL with a bad elbow. Jeter has walked twice. That's one of the stories tonight. Jamie Moyer with 7 walks, a season high, and we're only through 5 innings. Fly ball left field. Ricky comes up and he makes the catch. 1 pitch and 1 out for the Yankees here in the 6th. And you got to give Jamie Moyer a lot of credit. He's had such a rough time really in the first 4 innings. Got out of a bases loaded jam in the 4th, gave up the 3 runs in the first 2 innings, but here he is pitching into the 6th.
Well, especially with a control pitcher, that's one of his major assets, and he doesn't have control to hang around against this Yankee lineup as long as he has. Without his control, you got to give him a line of credit, like you said.
He's battling way up and in on Luis Sojo. Ball 1. Ground ball down the line behind the bag. Carlos Guillen, long toss across, got him. Nice play by Carlos. So 2 up and 2 down for the Yankees here in the 6th.
Well, Jamie Moyer going to the inside pitch a little bit more, getting these Yankee hitters to try to pull the ball. Carlos Guillen, nice play, throws it across the diamond, gets Sojo out of there, and Jamie Moyer still hanging around, doing the job. And it could have been easy for him. Got hit in the foot early in the ball game. Could have been easy. Said, I'm not pitching very well. I go out and ice my egg. And he would have had an alibi. Jamie doesn't operate on those things. He doesn't alibi anything. He goes out there and does his job.
Great competitor, a battler, trying to keep the Mariners in this ball game. Here's Bernie Williams. Bernie has walked twice and singled, so he's 1 for 1. Now the Mariners have to try to figure out Andy Pettitte. Inside on Bernie. Ball 1. Jamie Moyer has lost his last 5 starts. Andy Pettitte has won his last 7. Moyer hasn't won in over a month. Pettitte hasn't lost in over a month. So 2 guys, different tracks. Well hit into the corner. This ball is off the base of the fence. Williams heading for second. Ricky Henderson's throw is going to be cut off by Alex Rodriguez. So Bernie Williams with a 2-out double to straightaway left field. Say, friends, this week on Fox Sports Net, College Football Saturday. It's a triple header when Mississippi. College Football Saturday. Jose Canseco, ground ball to third, bobbled and recovered by Guillen. Toss across, gets Jose Canseco. Carlos Guillen stayed with it, and that's it for the Yankees. We go to the bottom half of inning number 6. It's the Yankees 3 and the Mariners nothing. Yankees 3, Mariners nothing. Bottom of the 6th inning, and catcher Joe Oliver will lead it off. Andy Pettitte delivers ball 1. Joe is 0 for 1. Everybody right now with an 0 for against Andy Pettitte. He has yet to give up a hit. Ball 2. 2 balls and no strikes. Andy Pettitte 2-0 against the Mariners last year. 1-1 against Seattle this year. On the outside corner for a strike, 2-1. His first start of the season was here at Safeco Field, and the Mariners won that ball game. Won it 7-5. Pitch number 70 for Andy Pettitte. Popped up down the right field side. Foul ground. Posada over, reaches into the crowd, and he makes the catch. Holy smoke. Jorge Posada's all over the place tonight, getting the start at first base for Tino Martinez. 1 away.
And in Safeco Field, this is playable. Of course, in Yankee Stadium, it's 15 rows deep with no foul line over there. Posada showing the nimble feet we're talking about, stealing it from the fans over there, playing them great first base.
1 out, and a nice play again by Posada, and here's second baseman David Bell. Soft line drive. Sojo makes the catch out in shallow right center field. So 2 up and 2 down, and Hendu, when it left the bat, I thought it might have a chance to dunk into shallow right center.
Well, I think you could see that the defensive players on the Yankees know that Pettit has a no-hitter, and everybody's into the dive zone. Don't give up a hit, and you'll see if he gets through this inning, they'll start showing the signs. Nobody will sit next to him. Nobody will talk to him that he's got a no-hitter. Nobody wants to be the jinx guy.
They're going to leave him alone. Andy Pettit, a no-hitter for 5 2/3 innings. He'll take a look at third baseman Carlos Guillen. 0-1 the count. Hendu, you faced this guy early in his career. Tough left-hander, throwing that cutter inside of the right-handed hitters all night long tonight. Like that, popped up though in shallow right field. That's going to drop in, a base hit. Little inside-out swing, and Carlos Guillen has the first base hit for the Mariners tonight. And it comes with 2 outs in the bottom of the 6th inning.
Well, you were talking about Andy Pettit and the cut fastball that he runs in on right-handers. He tries to throw that ball in, so you have to pull it foul, or you break your bat and get jammed, as Carlos Guillen did. He doesn't get the bat around. It's a cutter. You really can't see the rotation. Jams him. Just finds some open area out there in right field, and that takes the monkey off the back of the hitters. You get that first hit, and then Pettit, he says, okay, I gave up the hit. Now I got to go to pitching. You look at Guillen saying, all right, thanks a lot. I got it in there.
Mariners trying to get something going with 2 outs here in the 6th inning. Here's Ricky. Looks at it low, ball 1. Ricky walked his last time up. Mariners have only 2 base runners tonight off of Pettit. Ricky Henderson's walked in the 4th, then he was erased on a double play ball by Stan Javier, and now the base hit by Guillen. That has been it. Ball 2. 2-0. Last time Andy Pettit lost the ball game was on July the 20th, 5-3 against the Detroit Tigers. He's ripped off 7 consecutive wins. Line drive, right field line, fair ball in toward the corner. Guillen to third, Ricky to second. Up with the ball is Justice, and with 2 outs, the Mariners will bring the tying run to the plate. In Stan Javier, Ricky going the other way for the extra base hit, and the fans have come alive.
Well, the Mariners were looking for somebody to get a spark, and a couple of hits in a row. The fans get excited, get off their hands, and they give them something to cheer about. And Ricky Henderson, Pettit gets this ball out over the plate, and Ricky slaps it down the right field line. Perfect piece of hitting. You got to stay inside the ball and not roll it over, as Pettit wants you to do for the ground ball.
So 2 on and 2 outs. Yankees lead 3-0. Here's right fielder Stan Javier. Stanley's 0 for 2, and on deck is shortstop Alex Rodriguez. White Sox in Oakland tonight. Chicago leading the A's by a score of 3-0. That game is in the top of the 8th inning. So right now, good news from the Oakland Coliseum. Mariners a slim 1.5 lead over the A's in the West as we wind down the month of August. What a night for Andy Pettit. For the Mariners, a chance to get to him here in the 6th. Inside, ball 1. Stan Javier, 5 home runs for the year, 32 runs banded in, hitting .273. He's looking for a base hit. Fouls it away, 1-1. Carlos Guillen at third, Ricky Henderson on at second, 2 outs. Mariners with their first scoring opportunity against Andy Pettit. Fouled away. Big breaking ball down and in, and the count is now 1-2.
Well, Andy Pettitte in a little trouble, and that's why we start talking about that men left in scoring position, left on base. I think that's a good stat. It's better than the stat where nobody gets on base. At least you put the pitcher in trouble, and you got a chance to score some runs.
And Javier is 2 on. In scoring position, the 1-2 pitch. Swing and a miss at a pitch down and in for strike 3. And Andy Pettitte works out of a jam. After 6 innings of play, it's still the Yankees 3 and the Mariners nothing. Nothing Yankees lead. A great crowd here at Safeco Field for the middle game of this 3-game series. As we go to the top of inning number 7, we have a new pitcher. Right-hander Brent Tomko will take over in relief for Jamie Moyer.
Well, Brett in the ball game, he had a lot of chances to get loose. He was up in the 1st inning, 3rd inning, 4th inning, but Jamie, like a prize fighter, kept hanging on.
Fouled away the first pitch to David Justice. 0-1. Yeah, Jamie hung in there after the struggles early. Put up zeros from the 3rd inning on after the Yankees scored 2 in the 1st, 1 in the 2nd. Got out of a bases loaded jam in the 4th. 1 ball and 1 strike to count. So Tomko's job, keep the Mariners in the ball game. Mariners had an opportunity but could not cash in the bottom of the 6th inning with 2 on in scoring position. Up and away, ball 2, 2-1.
Well, Tomko's been kind of nursing a little sore arm the last few days and pronounced himself ready today. Available in the bullpen.
And outside again, ball 3, 3-1. Line drive foul into the seats down the right field line, heads up down there, and the count is full on Justice at 3-2. Mariners on top in the West, Yankees on top in the East. Last time these two clubs met in New York a few weeks ago, the Mariners won 3 out of 4. Skippered by Joe Torre since 1996. Line back up the middle, a base hit for David Justice leading off the 7th inning. 1 on and nobody out, brings up left fielder Glenn Allen Hill, and let's check in with Rich Waltz. Rich.
Thanks, Rizzy. Les Schwab tire numbers. We take a look at the league leaders. Big night tonight if you're a one-hitter fan. Edgar Martinez hit the first batter and then went out through a one-hitter. John Flaherty broke it up in the 9th. Chan-Ho Park perfect through 5 2/3, a walk and a 2-run homer. Mike Fetters finished that one. And how about this? Remember Josias Manzanillo, he and Chris Benson, mostly Benson, combined on a one-hitter. Benson gave up a hit in the 1st inning. 3 one-hitters in the major leagues tonight. That's worthy of a Les Schwab's Tires league leaders.
You bet. Thank you very much, Rich. Remember Josias Manzanillo, that you run in from the bullpen to the mound and then run off the mound to the dugout. It was fun to watch. Here's Glenn Allen Hill due up next. We're going to have a pinch runner for Justice over at first base. Luis Polonia will go out to run for Justice.
Well, we didn't see anything happen to Justice out there. We didn't get a report of anything that he hurt a leg, but Luis Polonia coming in when his left-hander went off the mound. Luis Polonia hits left-handed, so he's in the ball game.
Glenn Allen Hill takes a pinch up and in from Tomko, ball 1. So David Justice back inside the dugout. Lifted for the pinch runner, Polonia. And Justice really has turned it on since coming over from the Cleveland Indians at the end of June. Good pitch right there in the outside corner at the knees on Hill. 1-1. And this guy is one of the strongest guys in the league. He has a short, quick swing that drops the barrel of the bat on the ball, and it takes off. Ground ball to third. Guillen on to Bell. Over to Richard. Double play. 2 outs. Around the horn. 5-4-3. They get Polonia at second and double uphill at first.
Well, I think that's one part of the Mariner game that is starting to come back. The double play ball, the defense. You see Glenn Allen Hill get out in front of that breaking ball a little bit. Guillen makes a nice throw to David Bell over there, and they go around the horn the long way to get the double play.
Nice pivot by Bell. Good throw from third baseman Carlos Guillen. So 2 outs, and that'll bring up first baseman Jorge Posada. This guy's played an outstanding game at first base tonight for Tino Martinez. Posada 1 for 3. Looks at ball 1. Good to see Reggie Jackson here at the ballpark tonight. We had a picture of Reggie on the Real Networks board up there in straightaway center field, and a shot of Reggie. There he is. The Hall of Famer Reggie Jackson at the great World Series for the Oakland A's and the New York Yankees, Mr. October. Good to see Reggie. Off-speed pitch just misses away. 3-0 the count on Jorge Posada. Fastball for a strike. 3-1. I think the maddest I've ever seen Reggie in a ball game when he was playing for the Angels. You were with the ball club. You remember what I'm talking about?
I was in center field.
He was out at first base, and Bob Stoddard was pitching, and he did the fake move to third, then the throw to first base, and he picked off Reggie Jackson. Picked him off, and Reggie was so upset. He went back to the dugout, took the water cooler, tossed it onto the field, threw a bunch of stuff he thought that Stoddard had bought, and Reggie was a little upset.
Yeah.
Posada walks. He's on at first base. Here's catcher Chris Turner. Fastball on the outside corner. 0-1. There's another guy, Hendu, who didn't get cheated when he swung the bat. Reggie.
Oh, well, Reggie, you know, 580 something home runs, 83 home runs, but we always say you hit a lot of home runs, Reggie, but you lead the world in strikeouts. Has the most strikeouts in the history of baseball.
Yeah, well over 2,000. Exciting player throughout his career. Brett Topko take it over here in the top of the 7th inning for Jamie Moyer. 1-1 pitch, a strike, and it's 1-2 on Turner. Out of play on the first base side, still 1-2. Yankees had those great ball clubs in the late 70s. They won back-to-back World Series titles in 77 and 78 with Reggie and Willie Randolph. Willie's third base coach for the Yankees right now. Chris Chambliss, a coach with the ball club. Lou Piniella. Outside ball 2. 2-2 on Turner. '78, the Yankees had the little shortstop by the name of Bucky Dent. Got that home run against Mike Torres and the Boston Red Sox to win it for the Yankees. Outside ball 3. Full count 3-2, and now with 2 outs, Posada will take off over at first base. On deck is Scott Brocious. So Tomko will reach back, put a little something extra on this fastball. Runner goes. Swinging a high fly ball into left field. Ricky Henderson is underneath it. He's got it to retire the side. Fans here at Safeco Field will take their 7th inning stretch after 6.5 innings of play. It's the Yankees 3 and the Mariners nothing. We head to the bottom half of inning number 7. The Yankees lead it 3-0. A-Rod, Edgar, and Mike Cameron Coming up for the Mariners, defensive changes for the Yankees. Luis Polonia now playing left field for Glenn Allen Hill, and Clay Bellinger takes over in right field for David Justice. Andy Pettit has given up only 2 hits in this ball game. 0-1 on Alex. Pettit had a no-hitter for 5 2/3 innings until the bloop single to right field by Carlos Guillen. 1-1 on A-Rod. Well, Ricky Henderson doubled on the right field line, 2nd and 3rd, and Pettit with a strikeout to retire the side.
And that's the only trouble he's had, that 1 inning, and pitched out of a tough jam.
Fouled away. 1-2. A-Rod twice has grounded out to Scott Brosius over at third base. Fly ball into left field. Polonia drifting back onto the warning track. Luis is there, and he makes the catch. 1 away. And let's check in with Rich Waltz again.
Rick, it's our Miller Genuine Draft. What's on tap? Tomorrow, the Mariners and the Yankees finish the series right here on Fox Sports Net. We started with Mariners warm-up at 6:30. It's Aaron Seeley, and it's David Cohn, who's been knocked around a little bit his last few times out. All right, road tripping in Boston. And it's interesting to note, the final game of that Boston series is Pedro Martinez against Jamie Moyer. And then it's on to Toronto. We'll have that Wednesday game on Fox Sports Net.
All right, thank you very much, Rich. Here's designated hitter Edgar Martinez. Ball 1 the count on Edgar. Fastball just misses outside for ball 2. 2 balls and no strikes. Yeah, the Mariners with 4 games in Boston. They'll see Pedro in game 4, and then 3 against the Blue Jays at Skydome in Toronto as we move into the month of September. Ground ball to third, backhanded by Brosius. Toss across. 2 outs. Man, Pettit's been tough tonight, Henry.
Well, I think you see the Pettit working the cut fastball inside, making the right-handed hitters pull the ball on the ground or pull it foul. You see the 8 ground outs, 8 flyouts, but the cut fastball inside dictates where you hit the ball. You can't get it to right field unless you want to get jammed, like a la Carlos Guillen.
Yeah. Here's center fielder Mike Cameron. On 1. Roger Clemens got the win last night, Hendu. His 11th win of the year. 88 pitches for Andy Pettit. Pettit has been on a great roll. Roger Clemens was 5-0 in July, the American League Pitcher of the Month. He's pitched super baseball. There's the Rocket Man over his last 7-8 starts, but only 2 decisions, both wins. The other no decisions. He's pitched very well those outings. Swinging a foul back by Cameron, and the count is 1-2 on Mike. So they've got 2 big guys really pitching well in that starting rotation.
Well, everybody thought that was going to be their Achilles heel, the older pitchers on the staff making it through the year. But Roger Clemens coming down the stretch, he's a big guy. So he got a little cramp in his leg last night. That's why he came out of the ball game. He knows how to bring it on home down the stretch.
Down and in, ball 2. 2 balls and 2 strikes. I was talking with Roger before the ball game. We were talking about the night where he struck out 20 of the Mariners. He got you, what, 3 times?
Only 3 times.
April 29th. 1986. And we were talking about that night. I asked him what he remembered about it. Line drive into left center field. A base hit from Mike Cameron with 2 down. So the third base hit for the Mariners tonight against Andy Pettit. And he said one of the things that he remembered was the fact that he was pitching so well, obviously, striking out one batter after another. But Gorman Thomas hit a home run. The Mariners had a 1-0 lead until Dwight Evans hit a home run, a 2-run home run to give him a lead, a game that he eventually won 3-1. The career numbers for Roger Clemens, 258 wins and an ERA of just over 3. Hall of Fame numbers right there.
And still a dominant pitcher with his fastball after all these years. Usually you start to lose a little bit on your heater. He still throws it 95 miles an hour.
Chris Widger, a strike, 0-1. And then 10 years later, he strikes out 20 Detroit Tigers. Absolutely amazing. Widger 0 for 2. In the dirt. 1-1. Chris Widger's first swing as a Mariner this year. When he came over from the Expos, we were in Chicago, hit a home run to left center at Comiskey Park. 1-2 the count on Chris. Originally came up with the Mariners back in 1995. He played in that exciting division series against the Yankees. But the Mariners won to get to the American League Championship Series against Cleveland. Broken bat, ground ball inside the bag at third. Brocious is there, and that will retire the side. No runs, a hit, no errors, and a man left on. We go to the top of the 8th inning. The score, the Yankees 3, the Mariners nothing. Let's take a look at what's coming your way tonight on the National Sports Report following our game. And for that, we take you to the Fox Network Center. Yankees lead 3-0 as we head to the top of the 8th inning. Scott Brocious leads it off, swings at the first pitch and fouls one way out of play on the third base side. 0-1 the count on Scott. Tomko came on in the 7th inning, drops a curveball down and away. 1-1. Two balls and a strike. I want to say a special hello to a friend of mine celebrating a birthday today, Angela Turk. Happy birthday, Angela. Won't mention the number, should we?
18. 39. 18, Angela. Happy 18th birthday.
Yeah. Happy birthday, Angela. Big Mariners fan. 2-2. Ground ball right side. Bell with a dive, cannot get to it. A base hit for Scott Brocious. Brings up Derek Jeter. Well, over in Oakland tonight, the White Sox lead by a score of 3-0 over the A's. Top of the 9th inning. In Anaheim, Angels lead the Blue Jays 6-4. That game is in the bottom of the 6th. By Mo Vaughn. That update brought to you by Quest. How about the Angels? Just 4 games behind the Mariners in the West. Derek Jeter. Up and in. Ball 1. Jeter with a couple of walks, and he's flat out twice. 0 for 2. Fouled away. 1 ball and 1 strike to count. Big story tonight, the pitching of Andy Pettitte. Hendu has given up only 3 hits along the way.
Yeah, he's been in total control, silencing the Mariner bats, not walking, only walked Ricky Henderson. So
fly ball into right field and deep. Javier going back. Stanley on the track, makes the catch. 1 away. Brocious back to first base. Nice catch by Javier. Say, friends, it's going to be a royal good time when the Mariners host Kansas City. It all gets underway on Monday, September the 11th with Boeing Employees Credit Union Half-Price Family Night. The fun continues on September the 12th with Zenetics Bat Night for the first 15,000 kids. And wraps up September the 13th with Mountain Dew Mariners ski caps. The first 20,000 fans get a stylish ski cap perfect for hitting the slopes this winter. For tickets, call 206-622-HITS or order online at mariners.org. 1 on and 1 away for second baseman Luis Sojo. Strike going 1. Arthur Rhodes Warming up down in the bullpen. Yankees lead 3-0. We're in the top of the 8th. Ground ball, David Bell. There's one, and there's two. Double play. They get Brochitz at second and double up Soho at first. A 4-6-3 double play. Nicely turned by David Bell and Alex Rodriguez. We go to the bottom of the 8th. The Yankees 3 and the Mariners nothing. 3-0 Yankees as we go to the bottom of the 8th inning. Say, friends, a lot of football action coming your way. College football, the first weekend of televised action coming your way this week on Fox Sports Net. College football Saturday. It's a triple header when Mississippi State and Memphis battle at 12:30, followed by number 8 Kansas State hosting Louisiana Tech at 4 o'clock. Then it's a Pac-10 showdown as Stanford and Washington State meet in Pullman at 7:15. It all starts at 8:30 in the morning with the college football Saturday pregame show presented by Rivals.com. Saturday right here on Fox Sports Net. Catcher Joe Oliver leading off the 8th inning against Andy Pettit. Bounces one down the third base line at the bag. Brocious fair ball. Toss across. Got him. One pitch, one away. Nice play by fine defensive third baseman for the Yankees, Scott Brocious.
Well, the pattern hasn't changed for Andy Pettit. He's making the Mariner batters pull the ball, get him either off speed or throwing the ball in the inside corner. You see him at 97 pitches now. He's wearing out that inside corner and giving Brocious over there at third base a lot of work.
Here's second baseman David Bell. A little bit low, ball one. Enda, you hit left-handers very well throughout your major league career. You've reminded me that many, many times. Who was the toughest left-hander, though, that you ever faced?
There's no such thing as a tough left-hander.
Please.
Automatic 2 hits.
Please. Line drive, base hit. David Bell to left field. Up to the ball is Luis Polonia. So the Mariners with a man aboard. 1 on and 1 away. 3-0 New York.
Well, the thing about a left-handed pitcher, your right-handed batter, that's why they platoon. You get a longer look at hitting these left-handers because they throw from the other side. And you look at this, David Bell gets that fastball inside, but it's up a little bit. And when they throw it up, you don't hit it to Brocious, you get a base hit.
1 on and 1 away. Brings up third baseman Carlos Guillen. There had to be one guy. Now, one guy that you...
Ron Guidry, maybe.
Oh, thank you.
Yeah.
Okay. Thank you. Here's the pitch, and it's outside on Carlos Guillen for ball 1. Louisiana Lightning, Ron Guidry. Start for the Yankees for years from Lafayette, Louisiana.
Yeah, those left-handers, you got to take advantage of them because all those right-handers are going to throw you breaking balls away. Everything comes into you.
Ground ball, base hit into right field for Guillen. Bell to second, and the Mariners again will bring the tying run to the plate. So Carlos Guillen going the other way. It was Carlos who had the first base hit for the Mariners off of Andy Pettit. That game with 2 outs in the 6th. So 1 out, 2 on here in the 8th.
Well, we're talking about Andy Pettit pitching inside. He goes away from his modus operandi. He goes away on the outside corner, and Carlos Guillen does what he wants to. Hits it behind the runner, goes to right field. That big open hole with Posada holding Bell at first base.
Timeout is called. Pitching coach Mel Stottlemyre making his way out to the mound. Right-hander Jeff Nelson warming up down to the bullpen. Nelly worked an inning in last night's ball game. He came on in relief for Roger Clemens. And Roger came out of the game in the bottom of the 8th inning after a little bit of tightness in his hamstring. Mel and I were talking inside the clubhouse along with Jeff Nelson. I said, this is the Issaquah Major League contingent right here in this like 3 feet area where we were standing. 3 neighbors from Issaquah. This guy here from Brooklyn has done a great job with the Yankees, Joe Torre. Quick updates. It's a final. The White Sox win in Oakland. They beat the A's 3-0. And in Anaheim, the Angels lead the Blue Jays 8-4 at bottom of the 6th inning. That update brought to you by Quest. Fans on their feet here at Safeco Field, looking for a comeback against a tough left-hander in Andy Pettitte. Ricky Henderson is the hitter. He doubled his last time up down the right field line. Ricky is 1 for 2. Bottom of the 8th. Mariners are looking for a hero. They are looking for the guy that really needs to spark this club offensively. It has been tough. 0-1 the count on Ricky.
Well, the Mariners have been looking for that clutch performance, that clutch base hit the last few days, and they got a big left-hander out there in Andy Pettitte with great control, a good cut fastball. Ricky Henderson, he just got to catch one and get the bat out in front.
Low and inside for ball 1. 1 ball and 1 strike. On deck is Stan Javier. Pettitte got out of a jam in the 6th inning. This is only the 2nd time the Mariners have had a base runner as far as second base in this game against Pettitte. Mariners trying to cash in. Low and inside. 2-1 the count on Ricky. This kid has pitched a great ball game tonight. But the Mariners with a late charge here in the 8th. 44,000 ready to go crazy for the base hit right here. Popped up into shallow right field down the line. Posada, fair ball. Take it to it. Bases are loaded. The throw in by Posada. Bloop single down the right field line by Ricky Henderson. Bell to third. Guillen to second. Ricky's aboard with a second base hit. And the Mariners will bring the go-ahead run to the plate in Javier.
Well, Rick, it wasn't pretty, but nobody says line drives for outs are pretty. You'd rather have a base hit than a line drive any day. Ricky fights this ball off on the inside corner, tries to keep it off the ground, and blooper over Posada's head. He's not the wide receiver. He's got fancy footwork, but he's not a wide receiver. He got a hold Bell at third.
So the bases are loaded. The throw in. The bases are loaded with 1 out. Ricky Henderson, the bloop single. And here is right fielder Stan Javier. A .269 hitter with the bases loaded. 3-0 New York. Down and in. Ball 1. That's the pitch that Javier chased for strike 3 in the 6th inning. Left it alone. Ball 1 the count.
Andy Pettitte struck him out on the slow breaking ball last inning with a couple of guys on base. And Stan Javier, knowing that pitchers go back to their pitch, that they're going to get you out, especially when you're in a tough situation with the bases drunk.
Stan has bounced out twice and the strikeout. Line drive left field. Polonia comes up, slides, and he drops the ball. Bell will score. Polonia sliding for that ball. The Mariners get a run. It's the Yankees 3. The Mariners 1. He had it, but he could not hang on with the sliding attempt. Bell scores. Holy smoke! Still only 1 away.
Well, I think you assume that the Yankee defense is going to show up and going to hurt them with Glenn Allen Hill out there in left field. Now Polonia, remember, they're pretty good glove men, but they're not the best. He looks like he's going to make this play, but he backhands it, and it goes off the heel of his glove. And the slide right there, he takes his eye off the ball a little bit, and looks like he doesn't have it. He gets up and throws it, doesn't know where to go it, and the runners really can't take off because it looks like he's going to catch this ball.
A base hit for Stan Javier. That scores David Bell from third. So Polonia going after that ball a little awkwardly with a backhanded attempt. So the bases are loaded. A run in. And that is going to be it for Andy Pettitte. Jeff Nelson will come on in relief. Holy smoke, don't go away. This call to the bullpen. Well, the Mariners get on the board here in the bottom of the 8th inning. Yankees 3 and the Mariners 1. Time now for tonight's Magnolia Moment, courtesy of Magnolia. High-five the pitching of Andy Pettitte.
Well, you notice Andy Pettitte, he has a good ball game going. We watch a strikeout here, down and in to Edgar right there. The perfect pitch. You want to try to tie him up. The slow breaking ball, he's got them all working, people. And he's going to throw the cut fastball now inside to Chris Widger. Off-speed pitch, breaking ball. You see the breaking ball right there, down and in to Stan Javier. The strikeouts, 4 total.
And then the first base hit, 2 outs. In the bottom of the 6th inning, the bloop single into right field by Carlos Guillen. And now that's it for Andy Pettitte. He gives way to Jeff Nelson. A run in. The Mariners have the bases loaded with only 1 out. Nelly takes over.
And he's been in the 63 ball game. He's been the horse out in the bullpen, and he's had a great year. 63 strikeouts, and he has that 3-quarter delivery. 6'6", really tall, gives you a lot of arms and legs, so he's real tough to hang in for right-handed hitters on that slow breaking ball sweeping across the plate.
Here's a real good right-handed hitter, Alex Rodriguez, batting .335 coming into the ball game. There's a look at the runner at third, Carlos Guillen. The tying run at second, Ricky Henderson. And Javier, the lead run, is on at first base. Only 1 out. A-Rod, 32 home runs for the season. Takes a look at a strike at the knees, 0-1. I don't know if that pitch was a little bit low from home plate umpire Jerry Davis. 0-1 the count. .444 hitter, A-Rod against Nelson, 4 for 9. 0-2 the count.
Well, Jeff Nelson, we forgot to tell you that when he does throw from that angle, stepping toward third, giving you the crossfire, the ball has a lot of movement running down and in, and that's a ground ball pitch that he's throwing to A-Rod.
Way outside with that slider. A-Rod staying with it. Again, Nelson dropping down with the breaking ball, and the count is now 1-2 on A-Rod.
Dropping down, we call that Laredo, going from down under, and Jeff Nelson gives you the herky-jerky windup and throws the frisbee breaking ball off the plate. Trying to get A-Rod to go fishing a little bit.
A-Rod calls time. Backs out of the box. Back in just as quickly. Edgar is due up next. Swing and a miss. Strike 3, 2 outs. Nelson bans Alex Rodriguez. Bases loaded. 2 down for Edgar Martinez.
Well, usually a cross-up because he throws a lot of breaking balls, and he gets A-Rod out with the fastball. Now he leaves it up to Edgar.
Mariners looking for a hero. Trying to turn things around during the stretch the past couple of weeks. Edgar 2 for 10 off of Jeff Nelson, his former teammate. Bases are loaded, 2 down. 3-1 Yankees lead. Ball 1. Andy Pettitte tonight going 7 in the 3rd innings. Gives up 1 run. He is still responsible for the 3 base runners. Guillen, Henderson, and Javier waiting. Down and away. Ball 2. 2 balls and no strikes.
Well, if you have a memory, 1995, this man hit a grand slam. So the Yankees have those memories in their hearts, too, in the playoff.
And the game-winning double down the left field line in Game 5 that scored Joey Cora. And Ken Griffey Jr. with a winning run from first base. Well hit into right field. Back to the ball. Bellinger, grand slam, home run. Edgar Martinez, his 4th grand salami of the season. Holy smoke! I don't believe it. Edgar Martinez, home run number 32 on the year. It's the Mariners 5, the Yankees 3. Mariners looking for a hero. He's wearing number 11. Edgar Martinez
Rick, they were looking for that hero. You called it. Somebody to come up with that big clutch hit. And Edgar, he's been doing it all year with over 125 RBIs now. Comes up with the biggest hit we've seen in the last week or two.
Opposite field. Grand slam home run for Edgar. Holy smoke. Mike Cameron takes the strike, 0-1. But 44,000 fans are going crazy here at Safeco Field. Oh, it's been such a struggle the last 2 weeks. And the Mariners trying to turn it around. Check swing, ground ball, Soho charging. Sidearm throw, gets Cameron at first base to retire the side. But not before. The Mariners score 5 times. 4 on this swing, a grand slam home run to take a 5-3 lead. Hendu, what an 8.
And Edgar does it again. He comes up with big hits all year. One more time, Edgar, throw it into the bleachers, grand slam.
Unbelievable.
Well, the Mariners looking for a hero, and there he is, Edgar Martinez, seated alongside Jay Buhner. 5-3. Mariners lead the Yankees as we go to the top of the 9th inning. Here's why. Bases loaded. Edgar going deep the other way, his 4th grand slam.
And you look at the swing. You've seen that swing all year. He gets extension on this ball, and he knows he's got it in the right field. He can reach that porch out there, and we were looking for that hero. There's Edgar.
Edgar Martinez, the grand salami. The Mariners lead the Yankees 5-3. Oh, we go to the top of the 9th inning. Jeff Nelson back inside the Yankee dugout, gave up the grand slam home run. 4 of the 5 runs, though, charged to the starting pitcher, Andy Pettitte. You talk about a quick turnaround late in the ball game. Edgar Martinez did it with that incredible swing on the home run, the grand salami to right field. The new pitcher for the Mariners will be Kazuhiro Sasaki, looking for the save.
Well, he hadn't pitched in a while. Sasaki, 29 saves. And remember, he is a rookie. His 53rd games and 65 Ks. And I bet you 65 of them been on the forkball. The thing, we call it. He was raring to get to this ball game. After Edgar hit that ball out of the ballpark, he almost tore down the fence down there to get to the ball game. And John Olerud now playing first base.
So John over at first base, replacing Chris Widger. And here we go. This would be one of the more fantastic finishes in Mariner history if they can hang on to this 2-run lead here in the top of the 9th inning. With Sasaki on the mound, he's going to have to go through the heart of the order with Bernie Williams-Canseco and then Polonia due up 3rd in this inning. Remember, he replaced Justice as a pinch runner in the 7th. Holy smoke, what a comeback. But Sasaki looking for the tough 3 final outs of the game. He has done it 29 times this year, 29 saves. Up and away with a fastball, ball 1.
Well, you have to worry a little bit about Sasaki, that he takes a lot of time to warm up, and Edgar hits this grand slam, and they say, okay, you're in the ball game, and he has to settle down a little bit because adrenaline is going out there flowing, and he's going to have to settle down and get back into his pitching routine.
Line drive, caught by Olerud at first base. John, a quick step to his right, makes the grab. 1 out for the Yankees here in the top of the 9th inning.
John Olerud sitting around for about 8 innings and getting a night off with Andy Pettitte on the mound. Lou Piniella saying, you got the best glove over first base. You're the tallest guy. They're going to hit a line drive to you, so you're going to go catch it. Nice play. Lou Piniella sticking him in there for defensive replacement.
What a genius. What a board. What out. Nobody on it. Here's designated hitter Jose Canseco. Mariners lead 5-3. Strike down the outside corner. 0-1. Jose is 0 for 3. Walked and scored back in the 1st inning. He has fanned twice. He's also grounded out to Carlos Guillen over 3rd. Splitter. A little bit low for ball 1. 1 ball and 1 strike. And if the Mariners go on and win this ball game, you've got to give a lot of credit to Jamie Moyer. Unbelievable struggle for Moyer in the first 4 innings. He gave up 3 runs in the first 2 innings. but put up zeros in the 3rd, the 4th, the 5th, and the 6th. What a competitor. Popped foul and out of play behind home plate, and the count is 1-2 on Canseco. And Tomko held the 4th the last 2 innings to give the Mariners a chance.
Well, we go back to Jamie Moyer, and he was like a prize fighter, and he got this man, Jose Canseco, out with the bases loaded and strike 3. And he was dazed on the ropes for a little while, but he stuck the fight out and gave his team a chance to come back in this ball game.
Yeah, he was behind 3-1 and came back and he struck him out. Here comes the thing. But he misses down and away with it. Ball 2. 2 balls and 2 strikes. Oh, man, you could feel the electricity here at Safeco Field. And Edgar Martinez turned on the wattage with that grand slam home run to right field to give the Mariners their 5-3 lead. How are you folks doing at home?
Well, there wasn't much to cheer about early in this ball game. Andy Pettitte was the story until Edgar came up with a grand slam.
2-2.
Swing and a miss. Strike 3. Sansing. Kazuhiro Sasaki striking out Jose Canseco. 2 outs for the Yankees here in the top of the 9th inning, and the Mariners are now 1 out away from one of their biggest wins of the year.
Jose Canseco with a no stride just picks the foot up, but that ball drops. That we talk about the thing. You see it go off the table 4, 5, 6 inches, and that's the pitch. Why this man is in the United States. That pitch right there. You look at Canseco going, wow, I haven't seen a forkball like that in a lot of years.
Made him a superstar the last 10 years over in Japan. Here's Luis Polonia. 2 outs and nobody on. A fastball is low, ball 1. Polonia batting .282, 7 home runs, 27 runs batted in, released earlier this year by the Tigers and picked up by the Yankees. Mariners 1 out away from their 72nd win and one of their biggest. Shows bunt, takes the pitch, down and in, ball 2, 2 balls and no strikes. Sasaki having to go right after Polonia right here. Yeah, everybody holding their breaths right now.
Some worried friends out there. Don't worry about a thing. We've got Edgar.
Inside that Mariner dugout. There's a fastball for a strike. Polonia taken all the way. The count is now 2-1. 44,000 fans. 44,105 and everybody on their feet here at Safeco Field. A fantastic finish. 5 runs. Mariners 5 runs to the bottom of the 8th. Now remember, Oakland lost in Oakland tonight. 3-0 to the White Sox. One attempt. Popped in the air. All room's there. Game's over. Mariners won it. What a comeback. 5-3. Holy smoke. One of the great finishes this year for the Mariners. One of their biggest wins ever. 5-3. They beat the Yankees after they were down for most of this game. 3-0. Holy smoke. What a ball game. Edgar Martinez wins it with a grand slam home run. Hendu, this was absolutely unbelievable.
Well, a great ball game. It was dominated by Andy Pettitte in the early part, and then the Mariners got to him late. And of course, Edgar Martinez, you're looking at him right there, comes up with the biggest hit all year. And we've seen him do it before against the Yankees in the playoffs in 1995, and he comes through again with that grand slam.
How about that? Edgar Martinez, the Mariners looking for a hero, and there he is, Edgar Martinez. Now here it is, bases loaded, 1 run in, a 3-1 ball game, 2 outs, and he goes the other way.
Fastball out over the plate. Jeff Nelson wants this ball inside with sinking. Edgar says, I'm a better hitter than that. I'm going to take it the other way, and hits it in the right field bleacher.
Holy smoke. Well, we have the hero of the ball game. Let's go down on the field with Rich Waltz, who has our hero tonight with a grand slam home run, Edgar Martinez. Richie?
All right, thanks, guys. Let's start with the at-bat. After watching Alex Rodriguez strike out, what were you trying to accomplish against Nelson? What were you looking for early on?
Well, I wanted to be aggressive and hopefully get a pitch that I could drive. Nelly is very tough, and he's been tough for years against us, and I knew I needed to get 1 pitch, and see if I can hit it hard somewhere. And I was aggressive the whole at bat.
Tell me about once it left the bat. Did you think it was gone?
Yes, I hit it very good. But, you know, a couple of balls were hit hard today, and it wasn't going anywhere, so I had my doubts. So after I hit it, I knew I hit it good, but start running hard in case falling somewhere.
Edgar, you've been a part of so much success here. Can you tell me and put in words what it's been like in the clubhouse for the last 2 weeks?
Well, it's been hard, but, you know, the guys, everybody have a good spirit. We know that hard times are going to come, and we know that it's a month left. And this is the worst we have played in a long time. And I tell you, September is going to be better because it's been hard the last 2 weeks.
And it goes without saying that in the dugout and in this stadium, there's a collective sigh of relief that just let out with that last out, wasn't there?
Yeah, like, you know, it's been the offense. We've been kind of struggling, the pitching, and it was nice to get that home run today and a win.
Yeah, congratulations on another Grand Slam and a very big win. This is let's hope when it's all said and done we can point to this ball game and you guys can say this was the starting point.
Thank you. Appreciate that.
Edgar Martinez, big night for the Mariners, gentlemen.
All right, Rich Walsh, thank you very much. Edgar Martinez, the hero tonight, but I'll tell you what a playoff atmosphere here at the ballpark. Fans are just hanging around, milling about. They want to savor this win, one of the biggest of the year, Hendu.
Well, like we were reminiscing, a lot of these fans were in the Kingdom in 1995 when they seen Edgar take over that ball game with a grand slam, the double that he won the game. And when the Yankees are in town, it adds a little extra when you beat the Yankees.
It's always a little sweeter against New York. I think one of the big stories in this ball game, Hendu, it was such a major struggle for Jamie Moyer early in this ball game. Give this veteran left-hander much of the credit for the win tonight, because even though he really had a rough time, 6 innings, he put up zeros in the 3rd, 4th, 5th, and 6th, and he kept the Mariners in the game.
Well, with the 7 walks, too, that Jamie Moyer. Remember, Jamie is a control pitcher. He has to have control to survive, and he didn't have his control. He was leaving the ball up. He didn't have his changeup was staying in the middle a little bit, but you battle, you see what happens, and he started to settle down in the later innings and kept his team with a chance to win. That's all you can ask for a starting pitcher to do.
Yankees had a chance to deliver a knockout punch to Jamie a few times early in the ball game, but he bounced off the ropes. He was able to hang in there and get in 6 innings. And here's the line for Andy Pettitte. This guy was absolutely cruising, a no-hitter for 5 2/3.
Well, the Mariner bats, they couldn't figure him out, but you know that 4th time around when you face a pitcher, you get a better idea. You've seen 15 or 20 pitches out of them, and they started to fight the ball off, go to right field, and then you get a couple of blue hits and never know what's going to happen. Then somebody comes up and hits one.
And Kazuhiro Sasaki comes on, and he takes care of the Yankees 1-2-3 in the top of the 9th inning to pick up his 30th save of the year.
Well, you look at Kaz and striking out Canseco, and Luis Polonia trying to drag bunt. His job is to get on base. Tito Martinez is on deck, the guy that has power. Polonia, and look at Sasaki. You haven't seen that smile in a long time. He hadn't pitched in a save situation in a while, so